Hi, welcome to Spiritual Soul Center. My name is Reverend Paula Zebkar, and I am here to invite you to be a part of this movement. We are here to create a movement grounded in love and kindness that transforms us, our community, and the world. I think there's no greater purpose in life than to create that place in ourselves, that grounded place where we can come from, we can spring from love and kindness in every situation, with every person, all the time. It's a lofty goal and one that we take one step at a time in the direction of love and kindness. Welcome to Spiritual Soul Center. Well, today we have a guest speaker at Spiritual Soul Center, someone who joined Spiritual Soul Center back in probably 2018. I didn't know Kim when she first started coming to Soul Center, and she was consistent in her attendance. Always there a little bit early, always there a little bit later to take up the cushions that we sat on, the meditation cushions. Always excited to talk about the direction and the inspiration she found at Spiritual Soul Center. And now, in 2021, she will be giving us a message today. Let me introduce you a little bit to Kim in her own words. She said, "I am a self-proclaimed connectologist." She loves helping others realize their innate connectivity, offering insight and guidance as they open to a spiritual relationship of their own understanding and live a more deeply connected life. I love that word connected. That's one of my words too. Kim's all about that. Kimberly serves in this capacity as the host of Connected with Kimberly Dam, a podcast dedicated to psycho-spiritual exploration, development, and growth. In addition, she provides lifestyle and entrepreneurial coaching services through her website, kimberlydam.com/coaching. So welcome. I'm so excited for you to hear from Kimberly Dam.
Hello, welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kimberly Dam. I am a new member of the board at Spiritual Soul Center, as well as a psycho-spiritual guide and the host of Connected, a spiritually based podcast. You can find Connected on any podcast streaming app, Spotify, Apple Music. You can find all of it there. I first want to thank Paula for this beautiful, blessed invitation to be here with you and to deliver a message. One that is particularly dear to my heart, and one that I think all of us are trying to experience, perhaps for the first time, truly and deeply, and that is peace. Peace, I think for most of us is one of those states of being that we think for the most part is unattainable unless we are a spiritual master, unless we're somebody like Ramana Maharshi or the Dalai Lama. I think many of us that kind of, live in perhaps that actually live in the world that aren't maybe devoting or dedicating our life to the spiritual path in the sense of, the traditional spiritual path, which for some of us would look like, maybe working or living in an ashram or, becoming a minister or dedicating our lives in mission, what have you. And so I think for myself, peace wasn't something that I really set out to study or to understand. It actually came to me, I believe, through my own personal growth and my own true understanding of who I am, what I am. And that is that we are all human beings. We're spiritual beings. And it's really interesting because I think so many of us, who, when we come out of the womb, we truly believe that so much of this world is about doing, right? As soon as we're children, we're just taught various things, and we're taught that how we go about our day is actually more important than the essence that we bring into our day. We're taught that accomplishment is that accomplishment is valued, that it is what is considered a contribution to the world around us. And I'm just going to say briefly that I believe that if we were truly meant to do while we were here, then we would have been given specific instructions. And there would be many of us not walking, we wouldn't, I feel like every 5 minutes I'm questioning my purpose. And so I think a lot of us are. I think a lot of us are wondering, what are we doing enough? Is what we're doing actually valid? Is what we're doing what we're supposed to be doing? I don't think that there would be so many questions around purpose and career and so much stress kind of placed if that was authentically what we are here for. And so I think, that's where I believe that we are here to be. We are here to be human beings. And with that, to me, peace, whenever somebody asks me, how can I be more peaceful? It's actually kind of an oxymoron, because you cannot, peace is what you are when you be, when you truly can surrender and allow, and clue in to the present moment. Peace is the essence of being. Peace and being are really, in my experience, interchangeable. When you are being, you are in peace, because you're not interfering. You're not controlling. You're not manipulating. You're not attaching meaning to certain events. You're not attaching to your thoughts. You recognize that, the essence of your mind is to think, just like the essence of your heart is to love. The essence of your being is peace. So to ask, how do I cultivate peace? How do I become more peaceful? It's really more or less just a realization of there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to be added to your spiritual development agenda. There's nothing to be added to your self-improvement to-do list. It is simply, I would say, more a method of subtraction than addition. It's truly realizing the essence of who you are. Now, there's several ways that I could suggest to get to know that. Obviously, one of the primary ones that I would say is through meditation. But I think, in which we'll venture later on in this video, but I think more or less, I think the bigger question is, can you move into that state of non-interference? One of my favorite books, The Presence Process, it's written by Michael Brown. And what I love about The Presence Process is it's actually a book about emotional integration, and how by us allowing ourselves to be in whatever emotional state we are currently feeling in any given moment on any given day, by fully allowing and really cozying up to what we're feeling, whether it be pain or whether it be joy, we learn to unconditionally foster and nurture our our experience. Foster and nurture are what we've been asked to experience in that moment. And so through this process of emotional integration, you actually become more present, just naturally, because you see every moment laid out before you as an opportunity for you to interact with it authentically, from the most authentic place possible. And we learn that it's authentic because we're not suppressing, we're not trying to wriggle our way out of it. We're not interfering. We're not trying to control or manipulate. And what I love is, he breaks down at several points throughout the book, he breaks down words and kind of does like a play on words with them. And, he believes, or he suggests the idea that when we interfere with life as it's unfolding, especially from a reactive place and not from a responsive place, that we are going into fear. Because everything is divinely perfect and everything has its course. We can truly allow and we can truly surrender to the moment and let it show us what it needs to. One of my favorite things that Paula, one of her favorite prayers, right, is to show me. But it's really difficult for us to see what is being shown when we get into our mental scapes, our mindscapes, and we try to attach meaning to things. So to me, cultivating peace is really just more or less about understanding all of these things. It's really just more about understanding where my perception has been slightly off around who I am, what I am, that I am. I am. That phrase alone rings peace. Say it with me. I am. Does the essence of that not feel peaceful, truthful, joyful? And so what's so beautiful is when we begin to realize this, when we begin to fold in to who we authentically are, into peace, into being, we establish stability within ourselves. A stability, honestly, unlike all else. It's so interesting how we as a society have created the illusion that acquiring certain things, whether it be wealth or material items or accomplishments or achievements, that is what gives us the value, that is what brings us stability and peace. You bring peace simply because you are peace. And so with all of the life events that are unfolding right now, I ask you, can you pull back? Can you refrain from attaching meaning to any one particular event over another? Can you be like the Chinese farmer? For those of you that are not familiar with the story of the Chinese farmer, I'll share, I guess, a summary. I feel like I'm doing a book report. I'll share a summary. So the Chinese farmer is out in his field one day and he's harvesting pumpkins because, that's what every Chinese farmer, I'm sure, harvests. But while he's doing so, he trips over a vine and he breaks his leg. And he gets, they take him to the hospital. And as he's there, one of the townsfolk comes to visit him. And he says, "Oh, this must mean that your farm is bad luck." And the Chinese farmer replies, "Maybe." Well, while he's in the hospital getting his cast on his leg, he meets this beautiful nurse. And they get talking and they find out that they share a lot of the same values and they end up falling in love. And they decide to be together. And so a few months later, they get married and they invite the townspeople to the ceremony. And after the ceremony, the same man who visits him in the hospital comes up to him and says, he's like, "This is so great to hear that your farm is good luck." And the Chinese farmer replies, "Maybe." Well, this continues to happen throughout the entire story. It doesn't matter if something is perceived as good or if something is perceived as bad. Every single time, the Chinese farmer just says maybe. There's two beautiful lessons to this story, but what I find quite comical is the ending. The man comes to the Chinese farmer for the last time, making some deduction out of some life event associated with the farm. And the Chinese farmer says, "Yes, absolutely." The lessons are beautiful because, for one, the Chinese farmer understands that regardless of what happens in his life, that there is no greater gift than peace, and that nothing means nothing. No deduction can be made from a single event because when you are present, when you are at peace, when you are in a full state of being, when you have enmeshed yourself in that space, you cannot see anything that is behind you and you cannot see anything that is in front of you. So to make a deduction is pointless and it's fruitless to the present moment. The other beautiful thing about it is that he understands that sometimes you just can't influence another person's perception. And that by him simply agreeing with the man, that he was allowing that man without, and he knew that if he that by him validating that man's meaning, that man's perception, he was not invalidating his own. That is to allow. That is to be. That is to peace. So, as we can also see from that story, and what we can also perceive if we choose to, is that by that Chinese farmer being in the fullest service of himself, in the understanding of who he is, and the understanding of peace, he could at his highest be in service to others. Because when we are peace, or when we be, or when we are presently in peace, we can truly perceive things in the present moment, and we can respond in a way that is meaningful to that experience. Because every experience that is showing up. Every experience that is being had is required and valid. And the only way to fully immerse ourselves and to fully interact is to do so from a place of being or from a place of peace. And so as we go into meditation today, I want to invite you into that place. So please find a place to sit and allow yourself to drift off, contemplating what it means to fully allow, what it means to fully immerse, what it means to fully unite. With your truest essence. As we define it, peace. To cultivate peace is to simply cultivate you. It's to simply understand who you are, what you are, that you are. That is all that is needed. There's no need to make a list. There's no need for me to give you a list of books to read. There's nothing that you need to do. Only be. Thank you again for allowing me to share this message with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for sharing your words of wisdom, for sharing from your heart, for sharing your own spiritual evolution in the message that you brought to us. I am honored to give you this platform to share that, and it is inspiring to me, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you are listening to this early on Sunday morning, you still have a chance to join our virtual conversation on Sunday at between 11 and 12. Send me an email at info@spiritualsoulcenter.org, and I will send you the link to our Zoom conversation that we'll have this week, Sunday, August 15th. Let's take a deep breath. feel grateful for all that we have become aware of during this time together, and to pray in this way. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. And so it is. Until next time, amen.